Hello and welcome to the Ferg Neil Show podcast. Holy moly, this has been a tough week for comedians. The biggest act in Australia loses $500,000 to a dodgy manager. That manager is somewhere in Mexico. Probably that money is in cryptocurrency. And then my friend Steph Broadbridge tries to put on a Raygun the musical show. Raygun's lawyers get snappy. They start getting a little bit clucky. A little bit, we're not going to be doing that. That won't be happening. Raygun has threatened to sue a comedian. Now, as a lot of you know, I've been on Team Raygun. I said she was inspirational. I said that at the Olympics, I was tired of seeing freaks win the 50-meter swim in 4 seconds. It was nice to have a regular person up there. But now, when you make a regular person famous, as we've seen on Love Island, as we've seen on Married at First Sight, if you make a regular person famous, they turn into a sociopath. That's what happens. If you watch reality television, watch what happens to the average person when they become famous. If it happens overnight, get ready. Get ready. We had a cousin who won the Tats Lotto. You don't want to know that guy now. You don't want to know him. He was an English teacher, was a nice guy, won the lotto, did God forbidden things. He talked to the serpent and he bit that apple, if you know what I'm saying. That's what I'm going to say on that case. But Raygun has sued an Australian comedian for putting on Raygun the musical. That kind of sums up 2024 for Australia, I think. That sums up how we've done as a country this year. That our worst breakdancer is trying to stop comedians from making a joke. She has trademarked the kangaroo. I didn't know you could trademark a dance move that you performed badly. I didn't know that was possible. Like, if I go to the Olympics and I do the Macarena, and I do it horrifically, and I get slammed by every media outlet in the country, and then 6 months later, a comedian does the Macarena, and I say, whoa, 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 whoa. That's my thing. That's what I do badly. I don't know how that holds up in a court of law, but that is a situation. That is what's going on out there, and it is tough to be a comedian right now. Being a comedian in Australia right now, you're either having management steal $500,000 from you. I hope he doesn't mind me talking about this. I feel like it's pretty widely known now. Aaron Chen had $500,000 stolen from his account. All right? And the managers fled somewhere to Mexico. I went on their website afterwards and he posted a bin on fire. I said, well, at least the manager has a sense of humor while the ship is going down. While that ship is going down, he said, play the violins. Let the violins play. And now a comedian tries to put on a joke. Steph Broadbridge, who is a terrific comedian from Sydney, who I know and have gigged with, she's trying to put on a show. She's trying to make it in the arts, as we all are. Trying to swim upstream like a salmon or a tuna. I'm not sure which of those two fish swim upstream, but I know they're both goddamn tasty in a sushi roll. She tried to put on a show, and the lawyers come swooping. The lawyers come in hard. This has made it as far as the BBC. This is the BBC article. Raygun musical cancelled after viral Olympian's legal threat. Australian breakdancer Rachel Gunn's legal team has stopped a musical parody about her journey to the Paris Olympics from taking to the stage. The show, titled Raygun the Musical, was created by Australian comedian Steph Broadbridge, who was also due to feature in the cast. Now, my Per Fringe show was going to be the show after Raygun the Musical. That's what was occurring. We're in the same venue. It was going to be Raygun the Musical, then Fergie Ferg. Out of respect for comedy, I will be opening every night of the Per Fringe by doing the kangaroo. I will be doing the kangaroo for the first 5 minutes of the show, regardless of how those FIFO workers from Perth wearing high-vis heckle me. I don't care, because this is about comedy. It's about the convict ancestry. It's about the larrikin. It's about being able to go onto a stage, say whatever you want, take the piss, and not have to deal with lawyers swimming down your throats. I'll be out there doing the kangaroo. You can't trademark the kangaroo. You can't take that from the nation after you've taken so much, after you've taken the dignity away from Australian breakdancing. You've essentially, what Raygun has done, Raygun is to breakdancing what sandpaper is to the Australian cricket team. Everyone's like, Ferg, you watching cricket this summer? No. I'm only watching it if the people who committed the sandpapering, I reckon we should sandpaper their legs. That's all. Okay, that's all I'm saying. The only way I'll watch cricket this summer is if someone straps David Warner to a chair and sandpapers his legs to the bone. That's the only way I think that we can have reparations for what happened that summer. I still haven't moved on with it. When I see a cricket ball, I shiver. And I'm going, wait, these guys are now doing multi-million-dollar contracts selling KFC. What's going on out there? What's happening? When the CEO of a health company in America, who, America got utilitarian with that healthcare CEO. America went utilitarian. They said, okay, the CEO has taken out millions of people, and then the CEO gets taken out, and people start to go, it's a bit of a utilitarian issue. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do, but I'm saying on the trolley problem, there's one CEO on that side, and on the other side, there's millions of sick Americans. And America went, we might take out my brother CEO. We might take him out. Okay? He might get trolleyed. He might be trolleyed. Okay? That's what happened in America. And that kind of feeling, that sentiment is around the world for sure. There's a feeling in the air of revolution. There's a viva la revolution in the air. And I think people just kind of not taking it anymore. Even with the Woolies. The Woolies protests have been unbelievable. I thought the unions were dead. I thought they were dead. I thought they were people you talked to when you slipped on a banana and they said, yo, we'll pay for half your medical fees. And you're like, can we sue? No, we won't sue. We're not going to sue Woolworths for leaving a banana on the floor and you walking back from your break, you slipped on it. We're not suing them unless they do the kangaroo, and then we're taking them down. Okay, then Woolworths are getting taken down by the entire Raygun legal establishment. And as you guys know, my other podcast, On It Off It, that I do with Louis Phillips, I've got to be careful because his management is the same as Raygun's management. And I just want to say, what I'm saying now is distinct from Louis, okay? And it's distinct from On It Off It because as you can tell, this whole pod has been an off it. Okay, I'm off comedy managers stealing millions of dollars from comedians. I'm off people who are terrible at sport suing people who are trying to make it in the comedy industry. I'm off Woolworths as an entity. I don't even need to put that on paper. Just Google Fergus Neal. There'll be 3 Daily Mail articles come up. I'm not talking about that again. I'm off healthcare CEOs. You know what I am on? I'm on that I think society is also off. I think they're also off those individuals. And Raygun, I tried, babe. I tried so hard. I've got a 7-minute comedy bit supporting Raygun that kills. Now what am I going to do? Go out there? Lie to the people? I can't do that. I can't go out there and be like, guys, Raygun, is she egotistical? Aren't we all? If there was a Fergus Neal the musical, I'd be front seat. Sure, maybe if the first act, they went a little hard on me, I'd be a little bit bruised, but I'm not going to call in the Fergo Neal lawyers. And if I'm being honest, there is no Fergo Neal lawyers. But the point is this. This is in the BBC. The show titled Raygun the Musical is created by Australian comedian Steph Broadbridge, who was also due to feature in the cast. It was due to debut on Saturday at Kinsalas in Darlinghurst, Sydney, but Broadbridge was forced to cancel the show after lawyers sent a cease and desist letter saying that the Olympian owned the dance moves. In a statement to The Guardian, Gunn's legal and management team said it was committed to protecting her intellectual property and ensuring that her brand remains strong and respected. Some of Gunn's unconventional moves, such as the sprinkler and the kangaroo hop, went viral after her Olympic performance. Now Gunn's lawyers are reportedly trademarked the poster for the musical and advised Broadbridge that she was not allowed to do the kangaroo dance because Gunn owns it. This is getting very West Side, East Side. We own the dance moves. We own the dance moves. And this is kind of the interesting thing. If Raygun was good at breakdancing, she wouldn't have to make a career as someone who's not good at breakdancing. Like, she now has to monetize being bad at breakdancing. Think of the position Raygun is in. She went to the Olympics thinking that was going to be the trampoline to her being a professional breakdancer. She got back and realized she was a professional, terrible breakdancer. She's had to modernize it in a... monotonize, definitely. You know, we're feeling the monotony of those dance moves, but also she's had to monetize it and being like, how do I milk this? That's what 2024 is summed up as. Everyone's like, how do I milk this? I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it. How do I, twist the teats of the capitalism and get some of that sweet, sweet nectar? That one did puzzle me. I mean, that's an Olympic level dance, Broadbridge said in her Instagram video. How would I possibly be able to do that without any formal breakdancing training? See, this is why Steph's awesome, because she didn't take it. She didn't just lay down. She's like, I'm going to get some jokes in here. I hope that, when I inevitably die and get taken out by an ambiguous gang, I hope that I'm firing some jokes out there. I don't think I'll go a Caesar death. I don't think I'll be like, you too, Judas. I think I'll be like, Judas, you got red hair. Okay, fundamentally, I'm not going to die via a redhead. I think that's how I go. Just one more jab. One more jab before you get taken down. Broadbridge said on Instagram that she planned for the show to be back soon and with a whole new story arc. Everyone was due to attend the trial show be offered a refund for their $10 ticket. Surely if you're going to that show, just let Steph keep the $10. What's $10? $10 to support stand-up comedy. She said they, Gun's legal team, were worried I was damaging her brand, which I would never. Gun failed to receive a single point from judges at this summer's Olympic Games and was subsequently eliminated from the round-robin stage, which led to a torrent of abuse online. Despite being defended by officials, her performance divided opinion, that's one word for it, within the breaking community, with some saying she made a mockery of the scene. Gunn had initially planned to keep competing after the Olympics, but in November said the saga had been so upsetting that she changed her mind and had decided to retire from breakdancing. You did something so bad, you had to modernize being terrible at something. This is like going on My Kitchen Rules, being a terrible chef, and then having to modernize, You guys are on the same page as me. I can feel it. In their statement to The Guardian, Gunn's legal team said, while we have immense respect for the credible work and effort that has gone into the development of the show, I'm sure we must take necessary steps to safeguard Rachel's creative rights and the integrity of her work. This action is not intended to diminish the contributions of others, but rather to ensure her brand is properly represented and protected in all future endeavors. I thought that under a legal sense, you're allowed to call it satire. I thought you were allowed to emulate. It's like Warnie the musical. It's like Shane Warne probably wasn't happy about that, but it's emulation. It's like Chopper. Anyone seen the comedy act Chopper? He did that while Chopper was still alive. That's crazy. He could have got his ear chopped off, but he went on stage and did it anyway. I thought that in Australia, taking the piss was protected. I thought that in Australia, you're allowed to emulate. You're allowed to have a laugh. I didn't think that you could go out there and a breakdancer saying to really... Can you imagine if someone said, hey, Ferg, what's your prediction for 2024? I would say, I think there's going to be a world-famous Australian breakdancer who starts sending legal letters to comedians. I've looked into the crystal ball and there will be a breakdancer sending legal letters to stand-up comedians saying cease and desist. Essentially sending the legal version of depose, desist, and whatever that dude said. He wrote that on the bullet. What would be on Raygun's bullet? Never stop dancing. Probably. Something corny like that. It's like what you see on a real estate agent's wall. You're like, okay, it's kind of uplifting, but it's coming out of the mouth of a tiger. And I'm not sure how I feel about this. Okay. Before I finish the pod, we got to talk about this management thing. This is rock the community. And can I say, and this is, there'll be comedians listening to this. I'm not trying to be smug, but before this management went down, I had a meeting with him. Okay. I had a meeting and I signed with another. Thank you, comedy gods. Because all my friends are not getting their money from last year. Agency representing comedians, including Aaron Chen, goes under, leaving clients out of pockets. Comedians go public over money owned by Junkyard Artist Management, which they say has gone to ground. Oh my lord. Lewis Garnham, friend of the pod, said my management company went bankrupt out of absolutely nowhere. He hasn't even spoken to me yet. Yeah, Lou, he's gone. Lou, I love you. Your manager is in Mexico right now, okay? Probably with 25 He's in a strip mall in Mexico spending your money that you made at the Edinburgh Fringe. It's invested. It was a Ponzi scheme. It was probably allegedly, it's very litigious out there at the moment. It was allegedly a Ponzi scheme where money was getting filtered from the comedians, and, you get money from comedians. You're like, they're dumb. They don't need to sign a contract. This is handshake over the phone. I'm going to put this into stocks. Oh, the stocks have crashed. There are bikies at my door. Webjet. I think that's the crazy thing. I can't fathom losing millions of dollars from other people. Can you imagine that? Just the screens are wiping out. You close all the tabs. You delete your Instagram account. You put a bin fire onto your website. You go to webjet.com and say, when's the next flight out of here? Where can that'd kind of be exciting and all. I mean, if you take away the absolute monumental cortisol levels, it's kind of awesome to torture your life to the point where you've got to just throw a dart at a globe. Throw a dart at a globe and be like, I'm going there and it'll be better. No matter, that little dart could hit Syria right now and you're having a better life than liquidators coming and looking at under every single asset you've ever owned. He's probably in Syria right now. He's probably got there. They're like, there's a revolution happening right now. Strap in. Strap in for the best Viva Revolution of your life. Of your life. A spokesperson for the ABC said the broadcast, because the ABC's embroiled in this as well. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. It's still early days in the investigation into the reasons for the company's failure and the true creditor's position. Very diplomatic. Okay. The stand-up comedian Andrew Hamilton, friend of the show, posted on social media he'd been hit pretty hard. Okay, now I feel bad about laughing so. But you know what I mean? This is the thing. You gotta laugh. You got to have a laugh, okay? I'm saying that now, but if I lost $500,000, this podcast would be very different. I'd be in a IRA balaclava with the manager on camera saying, guys, if you're his family and loved ones, you better start sending money, okay? We'll put a crowdfund on the screen, and this better get up to $500,000 within 20 minutes, or I'll make guts. That's what would have occurred. That's what would have gone down there. This is truly a monumental week for stand-up comedy. It's hard to be a stand-up. It's hard, guys. No one wants to hear this. No one wants to. It's hard. There are nurses finishing a 50-hour shift going, what? It's hard. It's a different type of hard, being a stand-up comedian. Because you don't know when you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit by a lawyer. You're going to get hit by Raygun. Where will you get struck? Where will you get struck from? Because the hecklers are out there. You got hecklers, lawyers, and Raygun. Those are the hecklers, lawyers, management, and Raygun are the four horsemen trying to take down Australian stand-up right now. That's simply what is occurring out there in the community. I notice at gigs there are rumblings. They're going, were you signed with them? Were you signed? There are people turning up. Their cars are gone. They're just turning up on fixie bikes. I'm going, oh, should I give them a lift home? I don't have a... It's like when a dude tries to get on the bus of a bike. You're like, brother... This just ride the whole way. You're on a train and it's packed and someone gets on with a bike. You're like, you're showing the whole train that you're not fit. Okay, just roll downhill, and once you've made the decision to ride your bike, you kind of have to stick with it. You kind of have to stick with it. Okay, that's essentially what's going on. Guys, obviously this podcast has been live podcasts for the last few weeks, but I mean, I love doing this. I love just getting on a mic and rambling, destroying friendships and potential opportunity. I love getting on here and having a ramble. So drop us 5 stars. Tell your friends about the podcast. We have a live podcast coming out midway through this week. I think it's with Purple Pingers. We will find out. We will find out. I mean, I didn't even get time to talk about this, getting blocked by Chappelle Corby. I didn't even have... That's how action-packed this podcast is. I didn't have time to talk about being blocked by Chappelle Corby. Do you understand what that sentence means to me? I did a gig and I was talking about it, and I'm like, guys, I'm followed by Abby Chatfield. They cheered. I said, but I'm blocked by Chappelle Corby. They started booing because she's an Anzac in our eyes. She is an Anzac. If you think about it, she invented boogie boarding and probably influenced the cow punch. I didn't know the cow punch was just for Australians. I didn't know that. I had a Canadian reply to my Instagram story and go, Canadian here, what's a cow punch? I'm like, did we invent that? Did we invent that? Is that how we won the wars? Is that why the Anzacs play the trumpet? Because they're playing that bugle and the Germans were trying to Shazam, and while they were looking away in the nightclub, we went, boo, hoorah. Potentially, that could be it. Maybe that's the greatest ending to a podcast ever. Some historiography with a sprinkle of misinformation, a light sprinkle. Okay, don't let it stay with you too much. Guys, huge tour coming up. Monumental. Tickets will be in the bio. Perth, Melbourne, Wollongong, Sydney, Newcastle, Adelaide, Canberra, Gold Coast, Brisbane. All tickets in the bio. I can't wait to see you there. My name's Fergus Neal. Praise be Raygun. And this is the Ferg Neal Show podcast.